Last time on Square Roots, our heroes get sidetracked at the Chocobo races while Sebastian gets a boost up the tower. Meanwhile, the Dragon Council convenes to anoint the first human Spectre, and Darth Raven's identity is finally revealed. Will Tabin be able to handle the truth, or will his pie-stealing past finally catch up with him in court?
Hello and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Matthew Van Zant, and I'm joined, as always, by my best friend in the whole world, John Brandon.
Am I? Aw, that's nice, Matthew. It's nice to be someone's best friend.
I love you, buddy.
Aw, I love you too. Merry Christmas.
And Stan Ferguson.
I'm no one's best friend.
Aw.
My arch nemesis. Stan, remember when you murdered me on your podcast?
I did not murder you.
I remember that. I remember it very well. So,
I had no intention for you to die.
Very long con. This series is not actually airing. This is all just to be like, gotcha! Which I guess would be this moment. So gotcha!
No, I have been gotten.
John decided to help me out because you slighted him on Facebook one day when you didn't laugh emoji his post. You merely liked his post.
I mean, it's just holding down the button for one more second. Stan.
You know, I think that might have been one of those posts that I didn't even mean to like. I just accidentally hit it when I was scrolling down.
You monster, I am gonna get you.
Anyway, this is the classic RPG podcast, and I say that, what I should say is this is the only classic RPG podcast, the only podcast, in fact, left after the apocalypse, which just occurred just a moment ago. Don't look out your window, guys. It's not pretty out there.
Oh, man, I'm so glad I've got so much more free time.
John, I really appreciate the editing job you're going to do on this episode to get rid of the air sirens that are going off all over the country right now.
You're editing this one, good buddy.
As the bombs drop, we will continue our show.
Oh, those aren't Christmas lights. That is buildings on fire outside.
Oh, God.
Yes,
Why are
that's
the
right.
air sirens playing? Whoop, there it is.
Did you think you heard jingle bells? No, that was nuclear weapons.
It's pronounced nuclear.
Nuclear?
Nuclear.
Nuclear? I don't know.
Nuclear.
David Nuclear? Cut.
Anyway, what I was saying is we're like a classic RPG podcast. We talk about classic RPGs. We play a classic RPGs. Right now we're playing a classic RPG called Dragon Quest V. I believe this is part 3 of the series. Is that right,
No,
John?
it's part 4.
Just part 4?
Yeah, we're already like halfway
Jesus.
through this, buddy.
It's really flying, and it's probably
My
because
God.
of our wonderful guest host, Stan.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep things fresh.
And speaking of our wonderful guest host, Stan, Staniel,
Yes.
why don't we dive into our first segment of the show where we all level up, and you can tell me how you leveled up.
Well, I leveled up this week by going to the doctors. I got my yearly
Feel Good?
physical. No, that's my pharmacist.
Oh.
But yes, I got my yearly physical. And for the first time in 4 years, I went to my psychiatrist so I can get medicated for my anxiety. Mental health is very important, friends. Make sure you take care of it.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
cool, Stan. I'm glad
How
that you did that.
Yeah,
leveled up.
that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to be just a little less crazy today.
And my doctor
Actually, no.
is oddly
It takes
enough.
me a while for the Zoloft to get to therapeutic levels, so I'm actually a little bit more crazy than usual right now.
Oh no!
Yeah, baby.
Oddly enough, my doctor is Dr. Teeth from the Muppets.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't recommend
Do
him.
they give you fuzzy pills? Little felt?
Yep. They
coated
are
pills?
awful to swallow.
Ooh, it seems like it. You have to drink a lot of water to get that go down.
Like the worst thing I've ever heard.
So, John, tell me true, how did you level up?
Yeah, John, follow up that very positive message with your inane talk about video games.
I have been watching RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 4. And let me tell you, Gia Gunn is no one's favorite, but brings a lot of amazing drama to the show. Like, for instance, on this last episode, Gia was trying to start obvious fights so she could have a storyline for no reason. Like, she comes up to someone and says, oh, I just want to say this because we're good friends and because I love you, that you did so badly that I'm just really worried that you're going to be kicked off the show tonight. And as a friend, I just wanted to come up to you and say how this makes me feel. The person they were talking to was like, get out of my face. Just leave me. It was great. It kind of deconstructs, because they're saying you just want camera time. That's all you're doing right now. It's deconstructing the reality tropes. And this this lineup this season is kind of shaky. No one's real favorites. I mean, I like Monet Exchange and Monique Hart, and the two super surprise ones who I won't mention. But I'm having fun this season for sure. And otherwise, I have been playing a game called Return of the Obra Dinn.
I thought you were going to say Return of the Mac.
No. So the Return of the Obra Dinn it's currently only on PC. It's by the guy who did Papers, Please. It works just fine with a controller, so I bet it will be ported to PS4 and Xbox One and all that eventually. It looks like a Macintosh game. It's got this like dithered art style, except it's really 3D. So it's like you're walking through these old screen, like still frames from Macintosh games. It's really pretty. And you are playing a 19th century insurance adjuster who is on this ship that came back, but everyone on it is dead. And your job is to find out how every single person on the 60 passenger manifest died and who they are. And there's no one telling you who anyone is. There's no UI telling you. So you have to figure it out through people saying their names, and you get these flashbacks. You have this pocket watch that rewinds time. And every time it rewinds time, you get 20 seconds of audio on a black screen. And then you get a frozen piece of time where you can walk around and see what happened at the exact moment of their death. And you have to figure out how they died, who they are. There's lots of clues and stuff. It's a really cool mystery game. It's
That sounds super complicated.
It is very complicated, but it is like the music is amazing. The art is really, really cool. The story is it's fine, but the way it's presented makes up for some of the limitations of it, I think, because it's one of the coolest presentations of any game. So Return of the Obra Dinn is a strong recommend from me. Matt, how did you level up?
Oh, hey, I finally bought this game that I have been telling my Square Roots friends that I'm going to buy for 6 million years, and it's called Dragon Ball FighterZ.
So how many minutes have you put into it?
Boy, I don't know. I've put in a few hours for sure.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's really pretty, which is kind of the biggest draw. Was one of the biggest draws for me. Like, it just looks so nice.
Is it all single player that you're playing?
Yeah. I've been doing. It's got like a story mode. These games always do. This one's pretty robust. I'm pretty deep into it, but I think I've got a ways to go. I did dip my toe into like online competitive, and I got destroyed and was like, oh yeah, I hate fighting games. But when they have a big story mode, I don't mind it so much, until it gets so hard that it feels like the game is just cheating. It's moving faster than humans can move, it feels like sometimes. But
what's the story mode like? What's it like? Is it just like you're climbing the ladder and it gives you a goofy reason? Are there cutscenes?
No, it's got like maps, and you move a little pin around the maps. And at each point, or most of the points on the map, there are people that you have to fight. And sometimes you can You'll get a new character to play as in story mode, and sometimes there'll be a boss battle that will end that map. And there's a bunch. I'm on like map 13 or something like that.
Cool. So
It keeps you playing, even though it's, I'm playing it single player. And that might sound kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I really enjoy fighting games, but I don't really enjoy like competitive online play.
Right.
Other than PUBG for some reason. My PUBG addiction. But maybe I'm just not good enough at these games. They're just too goddamn. You have to be too fast, and I'm just never going to be that fast. I'm a 36-year-old man.
People who are ridiculous with fighting games, and they get the special controllers just so they can be even better, and they memorize everything, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah. And that's never going to be me, but I will pay for and I will play story mode. That's why I always have to wait for these things to be on sale. And Dragon Ball Fighter Z actually didn't get down to the sale price I was waiting for. I kept telling myself I was going to wait for it to be $20. But I really wanted it, and it hit $30, and I was like, fuck it. I'll do it. So, I paid more for this than I did for God of War, the best game of the year.
I have a fighting stick, but I'm not good at fighting games. I just like playing them with a fighting stick. Like, it feels fun. I like using the big buttons.
Yeah.
Reminds you of your old arcade days.
Well, I was never good enough at to like play at arcades, but reminds me of like playing single player games. The arcade, sure.
You don't have to be good to play them at arcades. You just have to have a quarter.
Mm-hmm. It's true. But then people, like, when you're just trying to have fun against the computer, and people will come up and like play, especially with fighting games. Well, only with fighting games, will come up and fight you and destroy you. And you're like, oh, it's just having fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a fun game, and I am enjoying it, and it looks really great. It's really fast. It's a lot easier than, your more complicated games like Street Fighters and stuff, and this one's got a real simplified control and like special ability control scheme, and I appreciate that. I don't need to feel like I need to do a million buttons. The most complicated thing you have to do is a quarter circle, which most people can do. In fact, I was trying to teach my 7-year-old to do it yesterday when he was demanding that I let him play. He can button mash his way through a win on easy mode, which is what I'm playing on. So I'm like, hey man, more power to you. Have fun. You can play this round for me. But I can't. He's having a real tough time getting the quarter circle. But he'll get it eventually.
I would never get the quarter circle. That's ridiculous.
Huh?
I would never get a quarter circle. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Who needs a quarter circle?
You need a whole circle.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do a half circle. I'm so bad at these games.
Oh, really? I could even do the Dragon Punch. That's like the most complicated kind of move I can do.
The quarter circle is like the most simple one. It's down to forward. Or down to backward. It should be pretty simple.
Yeah. I can also do like the only thing I've ever mastered was doing that 3-point arm break that King could do in Tekken, where he'd like grab someone, then break their arm, and then break their other arm, and then break their third arm.
Their third arm?
Yep. Arm 3.
I like games like this, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. It's not that hard to string together a bunch of crazy looking super moves. And the game is so pretty and fast and fluid that it's just like a spectacle to behold as it happens. It's really great. So yeah, it's pretty fun. And that's it for me. What else do we need to talk about? Anything before we dive into the main segment of the show, gentlemen?
You mean the confessional?
I thought it was called the Chronicle of Adventure.
No,
I thought it was called something insanely long that you wanted to use.
No, that's what we were. It was suggested to be because.
But people voted and said they liked.
Yeah,
the confession.
We like the confession booth.
The confessional.
Let's tell our secrets.
I think the listeners just like it when we say it. All of us should say it. Guys, are you ready to go into the confessional?
The confessional.
Oh, the confessional. Let me hear.
Stan, are you ready to go to the confessional?
I'm ready to hear your sins, Matthew.
What bad things have we done today?
Tell me how you disobeyed God's word.
What's it called when you pay the church to like forgive you?
pay to them to forgive you? I don't know.
It's
you
like
pay
that-
the church a tithe.
No, it's like an old Catholic thing where you would give them money because you
Is
did
it like clemency or something
like that. It's fine.
Bribe.
Yeah, it's like a god bribe.
It was like a god bribe.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
outlaw that eventually?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no longer a thing.
It must, because I'd never heard of it when I was a Catholic.
Yeah.
No, it's not clemency. What
No.
was it called?
Let's see.
Whatever. All right, guys, let's get into it. This is our main segment of the show. We're going to talk about Dragon Quest V. This is part 4. And where did we leave off last time? I saw
Indulgences.
Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Indulgences, Matthew.
Indulgences?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
We got married, baby. We got married.
That's right. I
Ooh.
got married to Deborah. She's mean. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Does she have fun? You know how whenever you're traveling with your wife, if you hit the B button, they say something fun about the situation you're in? Is there any...
I didn't
Oh,
do that
shit,
a lot.
I never did
actually,
that.
'cause I was kind of jamming through the game, and I forgot to do it.
Oh, that's my favorite
Yeah.
part. Although I have the
did
boring
Nira
wife.
have some cool things to say?
No, she's like, everything you have to say is like, oh, wow, I wish I were smart like you are.
Oh my
Well, I
god,
just
I
wanna
thought you
say-
said they said fun things because Bianca doesn't say anything fun at all.
Well, you get some backstory about just like what she was like. She'll mention stuff like, oh, I used to do that when I was out with my father, or I never realized.
Hey guys, does Spaghetti Face Pasta Man father-in-law
Briscoletti?
ever like leave gifts for you?
Yes, I do
What?
get tons of. I get.
When?
Oh, he keeps giving me fancy dresses. And those things are
How?
worth $7,500 each.
Yeah.
What? When do you get these?
Like sometimes I'll run into people and they'll just be like, "Hey, I was looking for you. Your father-in-law sent this," and they'll just drop a treasure
Yep.
chest and wander off, and it'll have like
Damn.
2,000 gold or a fancy dress.
Yeah, it's always stuff for Nira or I guess Deborah.
no, he doesn't give a shit about Bianca.
Well, you didn't. It's not his daughter.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love that
I-
Stan got the got the short straw basically.
And the guy who every time it's a different delivery guy who drops it off for you, and they're always complaining about lugging this chest around. They're like, "Oh, finally, I can drop this chest." It's pretty fun.
Well,
So anyway, one
I
thing I
did
wanted
the right
to say.
thing, and now I'm paying for it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. You deserve it. One thing I wanted to say is, I'm really glad to finally have a companion that's not going to abandon me after a couple of hours and like become a plot point, because this game with the dropping in and out of characters is really frustrating. And I
Mhm.
don't really like the Pokemon aspect of it. So yeah, I'm really excited to have somebody on my team that can last a while.
Yeah, I have some
Real-
bad news for you,
Yeah,
Matthew.
Matthew.
Real frustrated about the fact that she is 10 levels below you. Deborah was a level 10 and I was a level 20. And so even though she's supposed to be pretty great, she actually kind of sucked this entire playthrough.
I got-
Bianca was pretty well leveled up for me, so I
Well,
guess I got
Bianca's
that
different
going.
because you've already leveled her up.
Only a little bit,
But
yeah.
Nira started at I think level 7 or something, level 7 or 8, and then I got her to 18 or 19 by the end. But then things happen.
Oh my God.
Yep.
So don't spoil it for me, John. You know that I've already played it. I'm mad about it. So let's not talk about it too much.
Hey, guys.
Where do we start off? The Desert
I have a
Queen.
question for you, real quick.
Yes.
What do you call
Stanathan.
a bludge rigger with a chip on his shoulder?
A grudge rigger.
Oh, you knew that one.
What? Sorry, say this again.
This is some good DQ5 joke humor.
What?
If you you can search, maybe it's anywhere. I mean, I don't know. I ran across a bookshelf somewhere that was
Yeah.
like a joke book.
Oh,
Well,
I missed
it's
that.
funny you should say that.
Joke, and it was a real bucking barn burner. Just
It
the
was
whole hooting and the hollering, the whole family just in tears.
It was at
grudge
King-
grinner.
Dominicus's kingdom.
So there's a couple of weird bits of busy work that you start with. Like he wants you to go, at least for me, Mr. Briscoletti wanted you to go check a jar and tell you what color a jar is.
Yeah, I didn't have to do any of this shit.
And my jar was blue. And I don't think, was there any enemies in this? It was like a tiny little dungeon.
I don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't think. Basically, it's that there's a locked little temple north of his town. I forget what that town's called. And in that temple is a jar. Like you have to get downstairs, and the jar is blue.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's all that's
I
in
did
there,
this
huh?
as well.
Then he tells you to go check out the casino ship, which I
Yep.
did.
Mm-hmm.
But you got married there.
Yeah, but he told it.
Yeah.
He's like, go check out the casino ship. It's great.
Yeah, I checked out the casino ship. That was the first time I got to go there. You guys got married there. I went there, lost a ton of money, and then left.
Ooh, I think
I did the TNT board a couple times and said, never again.
Stan's got a gambling problem.
I had some extra time.
I just did the TNT board, and I won it the second time. The first time I fell through a trap door, but
Really? Man, this one took me a ton of tries.
I lucked out, I guess.
What'd you get at the end? Anything good?
No, I got like a silver tiara and maybe a fancy dress or something. I put one
Not
of the
even a
fancy
mini
dresses.
medal?
Sorry?
Not even a mini medal?
Oh, probably. I have. Well, yeah, we'll talk about the mini medals in a second because I got a ton of these and I don't know how many you get because there's lots of prizes you can exchange them for. But if
I got the miracle sword.
that
It
seemed
makes
pretty
me
good.
Invincible. It's pretty fucking great.
It's only
the
21.
only person I have problems with is
Where'd you get all the
Fault
fucking... When did you get it?
I have like 20 something mini medals. I just haven't gone back yet.
I
had to
think
get a
I'm
few
up
more.
to
I didn't have
28
enough.
right now.
I did not have enough, so I actually just went and got it. I don't know, a while later.
Wow.
Maybe
Okay.
at the start of the Nightmare Tower or around there.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I think we're talking about something that the listener has zero context for right now.
Well, it's a Dragon Quest thing. Like in multiple games, you get these mini medals. It's like a collectible that I think you trade in for weapons and items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we go. Let's just go there then. So
Yeah.
that's where we go next. We go to Damascus's Dominion, and we go to the
Dominicus.
Knackery. We can talk about them if you want now, or we can save it for mini game. I don't know. Damascus's Dominion. You just kind of sail there and go talk to the guy. There's not a lot to it, right?
Yeah.
Or is this the one where you have to talk to a couple people? Yeah, you have to get the maxi medal.
Yeah, you talk to a few people, then you end up with the maxi medal, then you go back to the Knick-Knackery, and they give you the Knick-Knackery. It's a whole Willy Wonka thing.
Mm-hmm. Which is
Because
the place
guy who
that
owns the
sells...
Knick-Knackery is dead and a ghost.
Yeah. But he's a ghost as a ghost because he's transparent.
Yes. Nobody has any reason to be frightened of this ghost. We all know that
No.
he is a ghost. He's very nice.
Yeah.
He deeds you this place called the Knick-Knackery that we stumbled across. It is a really dumb place where you can take all the junk you've been given and like set it up. And he gives you something to like shine it up with, but there's some sort of rules and you can only do stuff at night. And I don't know.
I guess
I'm
it
not
is.
sure-
Really,
I can't.
Knick-Knackery is a terrible name for it because it should be a Knick-Knackseum because that's what it is. It's a museum.
We'll talk about the actual mechanics of it later because it's a lot like
Okay.
Animal Crossing. There's
But in order to get this Knick-Knackery, the ghost tells you have to go get the maxi medal. So you go to Damascus's Dominion.
Dominicus.
Yeah.
Dominicus.
Dominican's Dominion, and he's gonna give you. He'll take those mini medals you've been finding all over the place.
Yeah.
And give you sell you certain weapons. One of them, the one that I got, is the Miracle Sword. That it gives you back a quarter of the. You get a quarter of the damage that you do back as health.
That's
Nice.
amazing. I need to get
That's
that. I have enough mini
awesome.
medals for that sword. So, is it when you reach an amount of mini medals you get that item, or is it that you trade them in?
No, you
for
trade
them?
it in.
Coins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
they're like
lose those
coins.
mini medals.
They are coins.
So hopefully I can still get like whatever the 60 one is. I don't know how many total mini medals there are. I assume you can't get everything.
Probably not. Who knows?
I don't know, and I'm not concerned about it. So.
No,
Yeah.
the only part of this quest that I liked was that he couldn't remember where his maxi medal was, and he'd given it to someone. So you have to like talk to everybody in town to figure out who they gave it to, because no one really wants it because it's too heavy to lug around. That was pretty funny.
It was a thing that happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it funny. I would say you have to talk to two people and you go outside and find it in a pond or something. I don't quite remember.
It's in a box, I think.
Well,
There's a slime.
Yeah.
Yes, the slime is like sitting on it or something, right?
Who knows?
Oh.
I'd sit on it.
Yeah,
Sure.
sit on it. So anyway, you do that stuff, and then let's get into the main quest here.
Yeah.
You have to go over to Helmanaptra.
Helmanatra.
I don't get the
The
joke here.
Queendom of Cleopatra.
So is that just two hat puns? Is that the
Yeah, I think it's two hat puns.
Okay. That Helmanatra is...
Helmanatra, Queendom of Cleopatra.
She has the Zenithian helmet, which is the next piece of the, legendary heroes armor set that you need. Why are we collecting this again? I don't even remember.
Because your dad
Because
asked
we're
you
looking
to.
for the legendary hero.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were looking for our dead ass mom.
We are looking for both.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And you do find
Yeah.
some information about the legendary hero, this chunker.
Do we?
Yeah. Well,
This chapter. Okay, later.
yeah, later.
Not right
like,
now.
Yeah.
You mean at the
Oh,
very
we do
end,
find
the
out
last
from
thing that happens?
Cleopatra. We find out from Cleopatra that your mother is been captured and is in Nadiria.
Ah.
So
yeah, this
she's
whole... Usually when you go to a town, there's a little story there and there's things to do. This is just, you go there and she tells you to go somewhere else. And maybe, I hope there's something later, because this seems like a weird, pointless journey. There's no reason
from
to
what
go
I
there.
understand,
Did
well,
you guys
do-
push
you do
in the
return here.
town of Helmanpatra, whatever it is?
Mhm.
God, I can't say it, guys. I'm not going to try.
Helmunapatra.
Helmet Town. There's a dude like dying of thirst behind the castle. You can go push him into a little oasis, and then he's an item shop.
Oh,
Doesn't sell
That's
anything
cute.
I was
wild,
wondering what
but
he
it's
was there
pretty
for. I
funny.
just let him die.
Wow.
Monster. Me too. I didn't know he was
Monster.
there.
It was right there. He was 10 steps away. He can feel.
Once again, the game does emphasize you are not the legendary hero, because you try
I
on
guess he should have picked himself up by his bootstraps. Hey, Stan.
you
Jeez.
you try on. She's like, oh, well, let's see if you're the legendary hero. She takes you down to the helmet. You try it on. It doesn't fit, or it doesn't. It's too heavy to wear. And-
It's a fun little cutscene where you follow her like all through the entire town. It takes 10 minutes.
God,
And B,
yes.
the legendary hero helmet's pretty cool, right? It's like gold antlers.
It looks like a tiara,
Yeah.
kind of.
It's monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
But she feels an unusual power within you, but you are not the one.
Mm-hmm.
So, foreshadowing also
Yeah.
is
And then
now
she
the time
find-
to talk about how she is definitely talking about your semen, though, right?
Hey,
That's the power she feels inside you.
She cups your balls in her hands.
Well, I just want to put a pin in this then, because we're going to have to mention when we do come to that revelation that Cleopatra definitely just felt the warmth of your balls.
Well, but
Yeah.
yours have
She felt it, and then she saw the Buster Sword
You
in
have
her mind.
nothing
You
to do
have
with the legendary
power
hero.
inside you.
There's someone who has some legendary ovum. But anyway.
Yeah, but apparently that doesn't really matter as much as the legendary sperm in
But
this game.
that's not the linealogy of it.
All
Anyway.
right, so I know, but this game really favors the daddy. So
So do I.
she, the mystical daddy.
But bump.
Everyone
So she finally
loves
tells you
mystical
that
daddy.
your dad was the king of this place called Gotha or
Yeah.
Gotha.
Gotham City.
I say Gotha
Yeah.
because I like imagining everyone's got like real severe eyeliner, black lipstick, black nails.
Gotha.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to find out that's not true real fast.
It would be really cool if King Pancraz was a Smiths fan and was really into The Cure.
He's like, I am the sun and the air of a shyness that is criminally vulgar. Anyway.
But Friday, he's in love.
Oh. I hate that song.
I hate that band.
They're not good. Square Root says, screw you, Cure.
Now we already know what John's squarely against.
I got dumped at a Morrissey concert once, so I give him nothing.
That's
also, he's
amazing.
Like weirdly racist. Anyway.
It's super fitting that you get dumped at a Morrissey concert.
I am aware.
I want to hear that story. Please.
Sometime when I'm in the mood.
Okay.
Anyway, so with the next place you go, she's like, oh, journey to the east. You'll find the path to Gotha. So you sort of have to just wander around. You're like, oh, this looks like there's something there. There's a little house. So you go to the house. And the house is a bunch of buildings built into the base of a big tree. And it's full of stoners.
1 second, though, just to rewind a bit. There is someone that gives you a little bit of a hint in Helmanaptra. And she's talking about Cleopatra. She says, she awaits the arrival of the Great One.
Wayne Gretzky?
So, exactly. And it's capital G, capital O. She is waiting for Wayne Gretzky. So if you do this game right, you really should name your boy Wayne.
I have some great names for my offspring, but we'll get there soon.
I do too, and I feel bad that I forgot about that because otherwise I would have named him Wayne.
So anyway, you head east and you get to a town called Not Welcome. It's not a town, really. It's just a tree, and in the tree, at the treetop, there's a building called the Not Welcome Inn.
And
spelled with a K.
It's really weird because you're actually very welcome here. They're all a bunch of hippies and stoners.
Yeah, they are. Like, you talk to this... So, what... You were saying there's two grandmas in this episode, and you're saying this one is more the horny grandma than the other one. Why is the Not Welcome Inn owner the horniest grandma?
Well, she'd be the hornier since there's only two grandmas. But I would say she's probably the hornier grandma because she is super just into this hippie chill lifestyle, which implies free love.
Does she? Do you have her script right there?
I just have one thing that she says, and she says, every one of us only gets one chance at life. YOLO. So you may as well make sure it's a gas. Have a cool journey now.
Yeah. I bet if you asked, she'd be like, oh, sure. We believe in free love here and Not Welcome In.
I'm a power bottom.
Whoa. I always imagined horny grandma to be more of a pegger. And that's some hard R square roots.
I agree with that, though. That's the horny grandma way.
Yeah.
Horny grandma don't take it.
Nope, she gives it.
She give it.
So now.
Head. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on at the Not Welcome Inn or, aside from Granny Knot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is a great pun. I love it.
Super unintentional.
I think it's on purpose.
I can tell you that I wish it was.
Well, no, that's what they call it in the game. That's her character's name is Granny Knot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pun.
It is indeed. Everything in this game is a pun, except let's touch on Brian real quick.
Brian? Who's Brian?
Brian, the guy who translates these games.
For
us.
Brian's Translation Corner, Brian
Yeah.
Pitt.
Like, he was giving us the translations to the game, and the Japanese version is super just straightforward. There's no silly names. There's no puns. There's no accents. It is a pure adventure
it's all in the kanji,
game,
right?
Yeah, it's all serious. It's no ridiculousness. It appears.
Yeah, it seems very surprisingly unzany for.
But isn't the humor like in the actual like it's the puns are in the words themselves, and it just doesn't translate to English.
That's what I thought too. But Brian,
would know that.
He would mention that because I thought there was like different ways of writing kanji.
Yeah.
That like you can make puns with because it looks like one thing, or you add this other symbol and it makes another word. I thought that's what this was like.
Right, but apparently there's not any of it, and if there is, you have to be like super lenient. There wasn't a whole bunch. It was just extremely straightforward as far as the names and the dialogue. So I was like, that is wild. And I felt we should mention that because we have to deal with all this weird localization.
I'm sure there must be people out there who hate this localization because I've seen them for, I've never heard it for Dragon Quest. I've heard it for every other game where they're like, what did the localizers do? But for this one, I think people don't care. Or people who really like Dragon Quest just have a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to know more about this. We're going to have to talk about this later.
Yeah. It is interesting.
Yeah. All right. So we move on to the Mountain Pass.
Let's move on.
Mountain Pass.
We got to go to Gotha.
It's kind of a two-party dungeon or two-parter dungeon, but there's not a lot story-wise that happens inside.
There never is anything story-wise that happens in any of these dungeons. It's bonkers.
Well, I mean, there's story stuff in the next two dungeons.
Well, the one good thing in the Mountain Pass is as you're climbing up it, you can find your way to another grandma. And she offers to let you stay at her place for a little bit.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you two look tired."
That was really fun.
Why don't you she keeps laughing. She's like, and then when you do go to sleep, you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't move.
Did you all say yes to staying the night with her?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean,
of course I did.
Yeah, it's a hot grandma.
Yeah.
I was hoping to
lonely grandma invites you to spend the night. You and your hot wife.
Yeah, a little threesome action there. But she comes in and she goes, "Ooh, awake are you?"
Yeah, because you can't move. You're paralyzed. You and your wife.
She says, "I cast a spell on you so you'd sleep like the dead."
And you're also hearing like a knife being grinded upstairs.
Yeah, there's a knife being sharpened.
Yeah, you wake up to the sound of a knife being sharpened.
Yeah, and she complains that the spell was not strong enough to keep you asleep throughout the night. And then she goes, "Have a look at this. I've been sharpening your weapon for you. And your strength increases by 5.
Yay!
Thanks. Creepy grandma. You're the best.
Don't ask how I sharpened this weapon. Just don't think about it.
I love that the last thing she says to you is, "I know I laugh a bit strangely. I can't help it. Try not to let it bother you."
It's a bit like, do you remember that Kids in the Hall sketch with the guy who has the speech impediment where it sounds like he's being very sarcastic all the time? It was a Dave Foley character, and like he's
I do, and it's great.
He's like, "Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?" "I wouldn't lie, not to God." Oh, it was a great.
That was a good impression, though, John. Like, you really nailed it. I got a picture of him in my head and everything.
It's one of my favorite
Foley's
recurring
the
characters.
Saying it.
Yeah. Dave Foley, you wonderful
You go
man.
through the cave, the Mountain Pass cave, and there's a whole lot of walking around, but a whole lot of nothing else going on. You do see a priest in there, but nothing comes of that. He's just like, "I'm just walking around here." And you exit. You can't save. Then you exit and you enter into a town.
Oh, there are some mimics Like, by some mimics, I mean, in these 2 dungeons,
There are so
three
many
dungeons.
mimics in this whole chunker. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Fuck mimics.
and
Maybe you get lucky, and late in the game, and I don't know if maybe they could do it the whole time, and I just didn't realize it. But towards the end of the game, towards the end of this chunker, they cast a fucking group death spell that just
Thwack.
would always kill at least 2 of my party members.
Yes,
It's called
just straight
thwack.
kill.
so the mimics have a limited amount of SP or MP,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
HP, MP, yeah.
If they don't cast any other spells first and it randomly chooses them to cast that, it has to be the first spell they cast, but it will, for me, it killed everybody but my main character.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get, you can't, it wasn't in this dungeon, it was in the next one where I couldn't escape too. It was really frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened to me, except it killed my main character
Ugh.
and left one of my monsters alive. And I was like, just fuck this game. and then what sucks is like when you leave that area, we'll get to it.
I did find somewhere in this chunk a Yggdrasil leaf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
got a
that
couple of
resurrects
those.
party members. I've already used them.
Have you got the Zing spell yet?
No. What does that
Zing
one
is
do?
the resurrection spell. You have it for sure since you're level 25.
Oh.
You get it at level 22. And if you have a monster called it's the purple floating jellyfish. Mine is called Curatus or something like that.
Like a mana war? That's
but
the
it's
enemy?
not a mana war. The mana war is blue.
Oh, okay.
This guy only does healing spells, so he gets Zing really early.
Oh, the heal slime.
So,
it's a heal
yeah,
slime.
I just use him. I just anytime someone dies, I walk out. I use him to cast Zing, and then I walk, somewhere where I can heal.
I'll have to look up where to find a heal slime because those things are great.
Yeah. So, anyway, you end up in this stupid town in between the mountain passes, and the first thing they notice is that your wife is looking a bit off color, so to speak. Your wife protests and then face plants on the floor.
In this
She did get drugged the night before, so
amazing animation, like this game,
It really
some
is
of the
cool.
sprite animation is gorgeous. It's like the best
Yeah.
sprite animation other than Bowser's Inside Story. I don't think I've seen sprite animation this good.
It's quite good. I am a big fan of the sprite animation when it happens.
And yeah, they have this over animated thing of her just falling over and looks really nice.
Woo, woo, plop.
Yep. And you don't do anything, but the townspeople are really concerned, so they pick her up and bring her back.
yeah, that seems to be the case for pretty much everything that happens with your wife.
Yep.
Yeah. And the priest comes along and says that your wife doesn't have a fever. It seems just to be a case of exhaustion. Now, let me ask you two, gentlemen, did you already know what was going to happen at this point, or were you able to easily deduce it because you've played games and seen movies before?
I played this game before, so I knew.
What about you,
No, I
Matthew?
didn't know.
You had no idea why she was following? Oh, yeah. I was like, as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, shit, she's pregnant.
Like, she didn't throw up, so
How does
Well,
Deborah
I mean-
handle this? I wish I've never played
Yeah,
through
what was
with
it like
Deborah.
with Deborah?
she's just mean about it, of course. She just belittles you constantly. That's all she does. She'll be like, "Oh, were you worried about me? Well, don't be, because I'm fine, because I'm a tough woman and you're a fucking wimp."
Look, you need to get more screenshots of Deborah talking. I can't do that.
I do really need to see more of this.
I'm not a big screenshotter.
Yeah,
Deborah.
it's so easy. You just hit the right button and the home button.
Well, he
I
might have a
got
different
like
phone.
damn near 400 screenshots of this stupid game just for this episode.
I don't believe in being that prepared. I prefer
But
to
we want
wing
to
it.
see what Deborah says.
I just told you what she said.
Yeah. She just gets
So-
mad at you all the time.
In my case, Bianca apologizes for making you worry because, of course, it's her fault.
My former roommate has, when she's dealing with her partner, talks to him in the exact same manner Deborah does. Like those two
Nice.
are identical. It's
Nice.
very weird.
That's hot.
Anyway, yes.
So the next morning, your wife feels great.
Mhm.
she wants to see your hometown, or at least mine did. I don't know if Deborah gave a shit.
And
But
Deborah's
Bianca was
really
like,
excited because the further you get into this, the more she's like, "Oh, this is looking real backwoods." I'm real excited to see what kind of, hill person you are or whatever.
Now, for her, feeling better is very common with this condition because, as we all know, people with whatever's afflicting her tend to feel very good in the morning. That is,
yes.
A thing.
That's why they call it morning wellness.
Yes, exactly. And
so everyone in the town is obsessed with your dad.
Yeah. Oh, geez. And Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, and your mom. Like, you go into the church, and this guy tells you about how your mom had a power to communicate with the underworld and Nadiria. So, like, there's that. And there was something unusual.
She's like, it's like she could see through your soul
with
her eyes, but it made you feel
instantly
at peace.
Relax.
And of course, so I have the opposite of Deborah. I have like the most insecure, needy wife who's like, "Oh, I wish I had that ability to make you feel at peace. I mean, I wish I could do that, but I can't because I'm garbage."
What does she really say that? Because Bianca just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, she really does say like, "I wish I had that ability. It would be so nice to make you feel better, and I wish I could actually do something to help you."
Wow.
Yeah, Nira's got some problems.
Yeah, that's terrible. Bianca's not even that bad, and she's pretty bad. So you leave this town and you cross this snow-covered bridge, and you get one of the neatest little visuals in the game, I think.
Yeah, it's
where,
gorgeous.
You oversee the city, the kingdom of Gotha, from the bridge and the trees surrounding it, and it's really just pretty. And there's clouds. And I just wanted to comment.
Cloud?
Fog or clouds or something.
Oh, clouds.
You can see my screenshots.
Okay. Yeah, it
was
a nice...
Cloud Strife is hanging out there.
Whoa, dude.
I guess he will be later on in the game, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I bet this looked good on Super Nintendo. You could tell it was like one of those parallax maps, probably, where it had like, the cool
If
3D.
they did that, I think this is strictly a DS thing. A new version thing.
I know Final Fantasy II did stuff like this.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy II looked so much better than Dragon Quest V. Dragon Quest V
Final Fantasy II is kind of ugly, except in the battle screens.
I know, but it still looks tons better than Dragon Quest V on the Super Nintendo. It just looks like a more colorful Nintendo game. It's not impressive at all.
I do like the look of this a lot, and this dungeon's pretty. You can definitely find a lot of extra treasure if you don't mind encountering about a 30% mimic rate.
Yeah, I gave up on a whole lot of that and was ready to get the hell out of there. I did find this one dude who said he'd been living in the mountains for nigh 100 years.
I did find that guy too.
He asked me about whether the TNT ticket was mine. I told him yes. Did you?
No.
What happened to you when you said no?
Okay, he's like, "Is this TNT ticket yours?" I said, "No." He said, "Oh, well, is this mini medal yours?" I said, "No." And he said, "Oh, is this fancy dress yours?" And I said, "No." He's like, "Wow, I never meet anyone this honest. Here, you can have all three of them."
Like, motherfuck. I told him the TNT ticket was mine because how.
And that dress is some of the best, at least this far in the game, is the best piece of armor. I got two of them. There's another one in a chest, so you don't super miss out. It's worth 7,500. The other one I got, I think I got in a package from Mr. Briscoletti, and it gives you defense
so
against.
Actually, Stan, you're fucked.
It gives you defense against fire and ice.
Damn it!
But only like the hula lady and your wife can wear it, I think.
Son of a. Well, I mean, okay, that's fine. That's fine now.
Yeah.
So you leave the stupid cave, and there's these like 6 lions, and it's actually kind of neat. And you run into a bard, and the bard tells you that he saw a dude named Sancho pass through on his way to Gotha. And I was like,
What?
Sancho!
Sancho?
Wasn't it just like one episode ago that we were certain that Sancho wasn't coming back?
Sancho!
I was worried that Sancho was dead because he wasn't living in his house and it was torn down and turned into an acid puddle.
He's also a heavy guy, and,
That doesn't mean anything.
that's true. It doesn't have anything to do with his health. He could be a healthy, heavy man. And you get out and you head over to Gotha, where things honestly couldn't go any better. It goes pretty well in Gotha.
Did you go immediately into the castle or did you go to the house in the northeast first?
I went immediately into the castle. I didn't think of. I was exploring.
I went immediately to the northeast. So what happens when you go directly into the castle?
Oh, you can walk around, but you can't get into you can't get into the throne room. You can't get into the second floor. You're just blocked.
Oh,
but
so
there's
you
still,
kind of
you can buy weapons.
Have to go to the house in the northeast.
Yeah, everyone's like, I haven't seen Sancho in a while.
Well, I guess my curiosity led me to the right place because I went straight to that house in the northeast and saw Sancho and his sister kind of hanging out. And she was like, oh, it looks like you have visitors. So who knows what Sancho and the sister were up to. Well,
the sister makes a joke that I'm trying to, she makes a pop culture reference, and I can't remember what it was for. Do you remember?
Does she at this point? Because I know another sister says sisters are doing it for themselves.
That's
when she's
yeah.
sleeping.
I think it's the same one.
Okay, yeah, that's later. But yeah, she's leaving, and you see Sancho, and Sancho at first doesn't recognize you, and then almost immediately is like, "Holy shit!" And he doesn't say that, but it would be so cool instead of going, "Friend, eat you, eat my Stan." Guys, I'm his Stan.
Mm-hmm.
I am his Stan.
Yes, it's my Stan. Hello, Stan.
Yes.
I've missed you so much, I thought you were dead.
Yes, he did. He thought we were dead. He wants to see our face, and we look just like his father. He says, "You are a man now, a strong, macho man."
I laughed at that.
Macho man. And tell me, who is this beautiful young señorita you are with?
Mm-hmm.
So Bianca is like, "It's me, Sancho, your daughter." Don't you recognize me?
It's not his daughter.
No, stupid fucking walkthrough.
And it's right about now. Does she collapse
Wait.
now?
Wait. So you're saying Bianca did not rush off to see when she saw Sancho and start screaming "Father"?
No.
No.
So you're saying that Bianca is not Sancho's daughter?
No.
Bianca is not. Bianca, as far as she's concerned, is Whitey's daughter.
Yeah. Although he does say he's not her real daughter. Oh,
Yeah,
I know
but
why.
Does she know that?
Oh, I know why that is.
Well, of course we know what that is now.
Yeah.
Why that is now.
Yeah.
Unless
okay.
Whitey was the legendary hero.
Yeah, he was not. All right.
So Sancho is surprised and happy to hear that you two are married.
Wait, so we could still find out at some point that Sancho is any of our wives' father.
He could
could be. If Sancho is the legendary hero.
Oh, no, of the same lineage as the legendary.
Sancho could be of the lineage of the legendary hero.
There is a possibility, and we'll get to it later, that Sancho could be of the lineage of the legendary hero.
What?
All right, so Sancho's like, "You need to see Prince Albert in a can." And
I'm very disappointed.
oh, how great would it be if Prince Albert was on the toilet when you got there?
There is someone who dies while pooping in Return of the Obra Dinn, and that is a very gross death.
Why?
Okay, now I need to play this game.
This game is it's funny and smart and scary and spooky. It's really good.
Scary?
Yeah.
How scary can that game be? It's like weird graphics.
It gets, I don't know, it's just very dark, but it's also funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dark and funny.
Yeah.
So Sancho gets you into the castle because everyone knows Sancho and everyone loves Sancho.
How could you not? He's a cute guy.
I guess. And Prince Albert is super happy to see Sancho. He's like, you look tickled pink. Good news, is it? And Sancho's like, look, it's Pancraz's son. No, that's the weird thing. All right, Prince Albert says, you mean Pancraz's son? Stan is alive? Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't he say, my nephew?
I don't know.
They keep referring to Prince Albert as not your uncle, but your dad's brother. Mm-hmm. And it drives me bonkers. I was like, we have a word for that, guys.
It's the one piece of translation they really wanted to keep.
They wanted to know that Prince Albert was specifically your dad's brother, not your mom's brother.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess that does make sense, because if it had been your mom's brother, that would change something. No, it wouldn't. Never mind.
Oh, wait, he does say that. He goes, I'm your uncle. Your father, Pancraz, is my older brother. And that might be the last time he says that.
Well, then what are we talking about here?
Yeah, but whatever.
So he's real happy to see you, except then Bianca/Deborah/Nira passes out.
Again, face plants. Same animation.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Uh-huh. But, so they take her to get checked out, and then the handmaiden comes up to you and is like, well...
she has a tail.
I have some news. And Sancho's like, ooh, yeah, well, okay, I'm not doing the voice. It's not bad news, is it? And she says, no, it is wonderful news. It would be impossible to call this bad news.
Yeah. She says, congratulations, Stan. Are you ready to be a father? What did you guys say?
I said yes, but I realized I regretted it instantly.
I said no.
What did
you
say?
know what she said? Nothing. She just continued on like I didn't say anything. Yes, your wife is with child. There's absolutely nothing wrong with her. She just needs rest. I was like, son of a bitch. I never wanted to get married. I never wanted to have kids. But here you are just forcing me through life. I'm 18 years old.
Sorry, Stan. You are getting saddled down with some children's.
Son of a bitch.
So everyone's real psyched about the fact that the son of the former king is back. They're sad to hear that Pancraz is dead, and some people just don't believe it. They're like, this one old man's like, "Oh, I don't buy it. There's no way that Pancraz
there's
could
no
be
body.
dead."
He's not dead.
And your wife,
that old man who's like, I don't believe he's dead. I close my eyes and see him every night. And I'm like, dude, that's called jerking off to a fantasy.
And your wife is like, oh boy, I understand living in the past, but you can't do that. That's very unhealthy. Also, I'm garbage and I hate myself. Nira, come on. So Nira is like, sorry, I won't be able to join you for the rest of your journey. I am going to be here taking care of me. I'm going to have some me time.
Yeah, she deserves it, you know?
Mm-hmm. She wandered through a mountain range while totally pregnant.
You know what pissed me off, though, was when she was like, she tells me that she thought about telling me that she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. But I was worried you'd call off the whole trip on my account, you see. I'll stop being so selfish now, though. I'm not going to insist on traveling about with you no more. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is she apologizing to me?
I don't know. At least Deborah wouldn't apologize.
Did Deborah say that she loved you? What did Deborah say?
Deborah was like, yeah, I knew I was pregnant, and I don't care what you thought about it. I didn't want to stay home in boring-ass Pasta Town. Mm-hmm. And then the next day when you're like, well, I'm going to leave you, she's like, don't worry. I won't kick up a fuss. I've decided I'm going to stay in Gotha and have the baby. And then she says, I know you'll be lost without me by your side, but, well, get over it.
You know, we should have all married Deborah.
I agree. I totally regret marrying
Did she?
Mira.
Has Deborah ever said that she loves you?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably not.
Gross.
Well, Bianca
paying attention
definitely
to that.
told me. As soon as Bianca told me she loves me, I started rummaging through my
You
room.
lost interest and left.
I rummaged through the room, and what luck, I found a lacy bustier.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You find a lot of people's underwear in this game. I found Sancho's
Yeah,
underwear.
you do.
Yeah, so, my wife's pregnant, apparently very pregnant, because she gives birth real soon.
Mm-hmm.
But this lacy bustier is going to come in handy.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's from whoever was living there before.
Prince Albert tells you that he wants to make you be the king because he doesn't really like it, basically, which is pretty great.
Mm-hmm. He has a daughter who
and-
hates it, too.
Yeah, and his chancellor kind of freaks out and then demands that you go find the royal insignia in the Rite of Passage, which...
Whoa. The Rite of Passage?
Yeah?
That's like Rite of Passage.
It's not even a pun.
They didn't
I mean,
even.
just,
They didn't even try. There's no joke
Oh my
there.
God,
it's
it's
the
so
laziest
funny.
thing I've ever seen.
Oh, shit. Rite of Passage. Except it's spelled like Rite Aid, like the pharmacy.
So you may have noticed that that the Chancellor's acting suspicious, and as with any RPG,
No.
always be suspicious of Chancellors. They are
No.
always bad.
He's
But first,
only
we have to
got
go get
the
this,
best interests in
this
mind.
insignia. So we go to the Rite of Passage,
We do it.
and it's what?
Nothing.
There's not a lot to say about it, I think. What do you
No,
guys?
it takes no time, and you get right through. There's that stupid puzzle. Follow the insignia.
Mm-hmm. And then turn the statues so they face each other.
Yeah, man, I did that by accident.
It took me about 20 minutes to solve the rock puzzle. The first rock, the one with the water. I was doing it. I thought that you'd put it in front of you so you don't get pushed. And I was like,
It took
okay.
me a couple of tries. Yeah.
Eventually,
did
I
that,
figured
and
it
then I
out.
got right.
Wait, I
yeah.
don't even remember the rock water puzzle.
There's a switch that opens a door that, like a sluice gate or whatever, that lets all this water out that washes you away unless you put a rock behind the switch so that the rock stops you.
Yeah.
I must have done that by accident.
Aww.
I have like no memory of that.
It took me several tries to get it right.
But you do get ambushed by a couple of monsters. They
Yep.
are a Robin Hood and a Hippoblocamus.
All right, you're not seeing my screenshots probably right now.
No.
But before you get in the fight, all right, you see what is obviously the Robin Hood sprite on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, you see
Just
what
a
is
guy.
definitely a 1950s greaser.
Yeah.
But then the monster is a giant hippo that carries two shields
Yes.
so that he can super block your attacks, but he doesn't
Yes.
seem to have much HP because it does not take long to actually kill him.
Yeah, the
Nope.
sprite
So-
looks like a... Do you know who Kunio-kun is?
No.
From like the River City Ransom character or the... what was the other? There's a bunch of games in that series. Or the dodgeball games and stuff. Looks like one of those dudes.
Well, he turns into a hippopotamus. So you kill them, but before you kill them, they do tell you that, like, what do they say? Like,
Someone has hired you to not become king. Hired them
they
to
basically
really?
said, like, do you think everybody's happy that you're going to become king? And I was like, I assumed not, but I don't know why you got to be trying to kill a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, that's before they fight you, though.
yeah.
Yeah, they say there are people out there who find the idea of you becoming king of Gotham more than a little distasteful.
So I died at this fight, and I had to redo all the puzzles.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that hooded guy was really hard.
Yeah, Robin Hood's no joke. Are you guys playing with tactics?
I did at that
just-
point.
I just give orders.
Oh, no. I have switched over to tactics entirely. I've got Champ and Mohicat on Show No Mercy and Goodian on Fight Wisely.
Mhm.
So Goodian's essentially, whenever anyone gets kind of low, he does a full heal, and the other ones just do their best possible attacks since they have no MP. Mm-hmm. And it is so great.
I'll have to try that. I don't really have... I guess I do have a cure slime. Maybe I should just put it in my party.
Yeah, I don't think I have a heal slime.
I don't keep mine in my party. I keep mine in my pocket so that if I need to use it, it's got MP.
I do like... I have a slime that I'm leveling up because there's a mini game I haven't got a chance to do yet, but I'll do next episode. But you have to be at least level 20 to enter your slime into the slime arena or whatever it's called.
Oh, the slime race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you head back to the castle, and the Chancellor decides to go start the preparations for... your crowning, and I guess for the babies.
Who's also crowning.
Baby's crowning.
Who's also crowning. The nurse runs downstairs. They hustle you upstairs to see your wife. Now, I assume it was the same for all of us, but maybe not. Deborah was like, get the fuck out of here. And then I had to go back downstairs and wait.
Oh, no. Bianca told me she loves me.
Yeah, that's what my
Bianca
wife
was
like.
super cool.
I love you so much.
Bianca told me something that really just made me appreciate her. Oh. She said, I'm going to do my best to give you a healthy baby you'll be proud of. Mm-hmm. Ha! Ha!
Yeah, that's it. That's the sound they're making. I guess it's realistic. But then there's lots of talk about how men are not useful during the birthing process and just should wait outside. So you're told to wait outside, and then you hear the clock ticking, just like at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I walked around a bit, and King Albert told me to go talk. He was like, go talk to the fucking guards or something. Pass some time.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then... I don't know. A minute later, they're like, hey, you're a father. And you go upstairs.
Right, how many days has it been since you got married?
What's 36 weeks in days?
No, has it been? No, for me, it's been 3 or 4 days since we got married. And now she's got a fucking baby. Yeah. We've got a fucking two babies.
A baby.
Yeah. No.
We got twins.
You finally go back upstairs, and it turns out there's 2 babies.
And I talked to the handmaid on the way up, and she's like, oh, you must be so proud to have twins. And I'm like, spoilers, lady. God, I haven't even talked to my wife yet.
All right. When you talk to Deborah, does she ask you to name the children?
Yes.
Ooh. So what did you name them?
I named them after my own kids.
Aw, that's sweet.
Aw. What about you?
I named them Fiero and Kia.
You named them after cars?
Yeah, I always name my RPG characters after cars.
Nice. Okay. I named my boy Snot, and I named my girl Grout.
Why?
Jeez.
Come on.
Not nice, Stan.
You could have called them like Stan Jr. and Stanella or something.
No, I didn't even know what their genders were. I just typed in Snot, and then I typed in Grout.
Jeez. Okay, don't name kids. So the best part was that my insecure wife was like,
yeah.
So
remember that, ladies. Do not have children with Stan. Yeah. Name them Snot and Grout.
Please don't have children with me. Please.
So my insecure wife's like, have I made you proud by having these twins for you? So I chose no. And she's like, oh, you're so strict. You're going to be such a good father.
Oh, yeah. I said no to her as well. But she just said I was teasing.
Mm-hmm. We are the worst.
I say no to fucking everything.
It's great. Unless
it forces me to say yes, I will say no 100% of the time.
Uh-huh. So did Deborah ask?
Right after you have your kids, you get to go to a party. It's pretty great, actually. It's what all childbirth should be like.
It's your coronation. You become king the day your wife gives birth.
Ooh,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
They're born into this world as a prince and a princess.
Yay.
And your little purple cape gets swapped out for a red cape, and that's the only difference.
Oh, and you never see that red cape again.
Nope.
I don't know if your wives had the same reaction as mine, but after I found out I was a prince, she's like, I never knew that you were a prince. I don't know if I'm worthy of being with a prince, but I always knew there was something special about you.
Really?
Deborah was like, you're a king? You're not very imposing for a king. She's talking to Albert. Are you? My papa does a better job of looking pompous than you. And then she says, I'm Deborah. Vander's my husband, which naturally means we'll be getting some very special treatment too. And I was like, what the fuck?
She's the greatest.
Bianca's just like, I don't really care about you being king, but that's great. And I'm like, come on. Bullshit. We never have to worry about anything again.
Maybe she likes the hard work.
Whatever. So we become the king. People say, wahoo, King Stan. King Stan forever. And I'm like, yes, the game can end right now.
And you get this about 50-minute cutscene of walking around the castle saying hello to everyone as the newly coronated king.
Yes, and you get to be in front
awesome
of
red
all...
cape.
Mm-hmm.
Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 of your subjects. All 11 of them.
Oh, there's also all your guards, too, which is, I think there's like
You have more guards
12?
than subjects.
These aren't all your subject Stan, just the ones worthy of coming to the castle for your coronation.
Yeah.
The rich, let's say.
The Playboy bunny, the shirtless guy with the Viking helmet, the elf, the tuxedo bartender.
So you wake up from your party and everybody is asleep on the ground.
Yeah.
Like everybody. Mm-hmm. The guards, the king, the old king, everybody is passed out. Mm-hmm. You go wandering around and you find your bed. You go to your bedroom and everybody's Bianca or Deborah or Nira are missing, and so are the babies.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't want you to leave the room. I couldn't find them. And it didn't want me to leave. Like, if you go to the door of the room, it would be like, the cry of your babies comes from your room. And you turn around and go back in, but they're nowhere to be found.
They just
Eventually,
popped
I found
out
them.
of me.
Okay. So you actually
Maybe
tried
it was
to
a time
exit the
thing.
room before you clicked on the bed.
Yeah.
That's what
me
I
too.
did. I clicked on the bed.
You hear
and
a baby
finally,
crying.
How did you know to click on the bed? Because I ended
just
up
tried
trying
everything
to
in the
leave
room.
the castle, came back, went downstairs, and then finally looked it up on GameFAQs, and it said click on the bed.
See, with me, I left the room, or I was trying to leave the room and said, you hear the sound of babies, and it played the sound of a baby crying. And then I walked back towards the bed and they just popped out. Like, they're already
you must
there.
have tapped the bed by accident, because that's what you got to do is tap the freaking bed.
So the entire town is passed out, which is great. I will note, when you talk to your babies before the party, one says goo goo and the other one says baba.
Yeah.
One of the guards, while passed out, also says goo goo. I thought that was funny. And the sister who is passed out says, "Sisters are doing it for," which I thought was a fun reference.
What the fuck?
It was very fun. One of them says loads of booze, so you kind of knew that it was, and then it says all thanks to Chancellor Jeeves.
Yeah.
So you kind of know what's up with that.
Yeah, and King Albert's like, yeah, the Chancellor seems super against this, but it's now like all in on it. That's cool.
What's weird about this is everyone's asleep because of the loads of booze, right? That includes the little 5-year-old.
No, someone drugged the food, Stan.
Was it? Because he says loads of booze, all thanks to Chancellor Jeeves.
There's someone, after everyone wakes up, someone says, hey, it was the Chancellor that got this food, and I think he might have poisoned it. Someone
The
mentioned
food,
it. Huh? Yeah, so that's why the kids are passed out. Although there is one kid who's not passed out.
I like to think that the kids were drunk too, and that's why they were passed out.
Yeah,
everybody was just passed out drunk.
I'm more of a kids were drunk.
People start waking up, and Prince Albert orders a search party.
No one can find the Chancellor.
But then nobody can find the Chancellor. You decide to go find your wife. on your own.
You do get an important hint. I mean, you do end up finding that you're finally able to go into the Chancellor's room, and you find some shoes that I didn't realize they were what they were called or what they did. So I ended up having to go to the FAQ for that.
Aren't they called Tabala shoes or something?
Tapalias or something like that. They sound like a type of food. But if you go to the girl, the princess, or Prince Albert's daughter, she says that she saw him, Chancellor Jeeves, flying overhead, heading north.
So he had a backup pair, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and here's where I was getting at before. All right, so Sancho says to you that you have the tiny bebés to look after, and they need their papa now. And then while you're talking, the Zenithian sword glows. And Sancho says, ¿Qué? This is the Zenithian sword of your papa, Señor Pancras. Why are you giving to me this sword, friend? You believe he's going to protect the castle?
Oh, I see.
So, it glows, and I handed it to Sancho. So, you know what? He might be Bianca's daddy.
That's some good headcanon right there.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you might be right.
I may be crazy.
No, you might be right there.
But I just may be the lunatic you're looking for.
That might explain why they would write that in that fact you looked at.
Potentially.
I am convinced Sancho is Deborah, Nira, and Bianca's dad.
Oh, there's also
Sancho is Rodrigo's brother.
There's someone who mentions I think it's in the town before. Someone talks about how they think the princess has some lineage. Oh no, that's not. That's in the next dungeon, right? Where they talk about the princess's lineage.
Who? What princess?
Well, in Nira, they talk about Nira's lineage.
So anyway, you find these shoes and you can use them. You click them together like you're Dorothy. And they shoot you into the sky, and you land in front of Northminster Abbey or something like that.
Yes.
And north of there is a tower, and you have to go do it, right? Yeah. It's Nightmare Tower, is that right?
Tower of Treasure, I think it's called.
Yeah, well, it's actually the Nightmare Tower, but it's called Tower of Treasure, that walkthrough.
Oh,
and
never mind that.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't really say in the game.
Yeah,
I don't think.
The people in that little village before say, "Oh, we saw a human walking with some monsters into that tower," and
this place is a huge pain in the ass.
Giant pain in the ass, especially with the fucking controls.
And I kept dying and having to restart it. Though now here's a weird thing: in this tower, when I died, I would get transported to a little room at the bottom of the tower, and I died a bunch.
Oh wow!
Okay,
and all of my people would be resurrected, and all of my health would be restored.
That's good.
Right. Well, that is good if that happens to you, which did happen to me the first time I played through this dungeon. This is also the dungeon where when I reached the last boss, the game crashed on me.
Oh,
so I had to redo the whole thing. So the second time when I did it and I died, it brought me down to Westminster or Northminster. And I was like, motherfuck.
That sucks.
I had found a couple of diamonds, and I was wondering if those had something to do with it. That is DIEMOND.
I do have, I found some of those too.
Yeah.
I admittedly used the fact to find all the treasure. I was like, it's really fast if you just do what the fact says.
Yeah, I found all the treasure the first time. The second time I had zero interest in exploring the entire castle. I just wanted to get through it.
Right. I went up and down this fucking dungeon 1,000 times. I hated it. I got lost. Not a fan. So you get to the top, and there are two bosses before the boss.
Right.
And I managed the orc pawn. I managed to beat him on the first try, though he killed
was
half
easy.
My party. And then there's the chimera pawn, and this one killed me 3 fucking times.
Same here.
Before I finally killed it.
I've
chimera
got
pawn.
Adam the apple, and he has sap, which halves the defense of the enemy, which is super useful.
I have not picked up a new monster since basically when we first got the cart.
Oh, wow.
I've still got the same like 3 monsters.
I've got an Orc King. I just got one of those. I got a Man of War.
I don't understand how you get them. I don't get them. Do you do anything?
It's random.
You have to
Random.
be higher level than they are, and you can also feed them monster kibble.
Yeah. I have Mohawk, Slime Knight, and some sort of mushroom dude.
Oh, you still have that guy.
Yeah.
I'm still using my Alola
Yeah, she's great
Hula
though.
Girl.
If
Yeah,
she's
pretty good.
like she's got one of the highest attacks. For me, the highest attack right now is the apple. The apple's just amazing. And then I have one who has healing spells, the Slime Knight I use for my
Right.
healing. And yeah,
I have to use the protagonist for healing, and it's annoying.
Yeah, I definitely need to get another monster in on that.
They don't pop into my part. I don't get them. I don't know what to say. It's really
Maybe I would
fucking annoying.
go if I were you go to some like low level areas and try to get like at least something with healing because that's
Grind,
really
But then they're
grind
going
like
to be
crazy.
low level, and they'll just fucking die in one hit every time.
well. Put them in the wagon; they'll level up as you walk around.
Yeah. Grind like crazy.
I
So
do have
you
a
go-
Cure Slime, but it doesn't have Resurrect. I do have a Cure Slime.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You
well,
just
there
have to get
go.
to level
Use
20
it.
something so I can get the resurrect
Now,
spell.
in this Nightmare Tower, since you don't have your wagon,
Mhm.
you can't just use your
Yeah.
wagon creatures
No.
to heal yourself.
Nope.
So unless it's in your party, you can't use it.
That's why I ended up using up all of my prayer ring. It's a ring that if you use it, you get a whole bunch of MP back, like
Right.
ether.
I just redid it a bunch of times. Like I would just go back down to the bottom.
Does the
You
prayer
know,
ring
you
have?
go back down to the bottom to go to that place that heals you.
The tower is
Yeah.
not, and I would die a lot. The tower
And
itself
I-
is not actually that long. It's just, it's a maze. But
Yeah.
once you figure it out, you can run up it pretty quick.
Yeah, I
So
just
you
didn't
fight
want
the
to do that
two-
the entire time. I just wanted to get to the final boss. I
How
was
does the
tired
prayer
of
ring
this.
work? Does it have like a number of charges?
Yeah, it has a number of charges. I don't think you know how many charges
Oh,
it is.
okay. Oh,
And
that
then
sucks.
eventually it went away.
I have a couple of
but-
them.
Yeah,
you
me too.
you beat those two bosses. You go down and you recognize the boss there. It's the beefy horse boss.
Sexy
that,
muscle horse.
yeah,
Muscle
that John was really
horse.
into. And Bianca
My
says
little
to me,
muscle pony.
I
Right,
ran
guys?
up to
My muscle pony.
my muscle pony. Mm.
And his
My
name is
Mustang.
what? Khan, right?
Con, K-O-N,
Yeah.
the knight.
Yeah.
And I run up to Bianca, and Bianca says, Stan, I knew you'd come. And I was like, of course you do. Yeah, we just had 2 kids.
Seize the night and
Deborah
punch
didn't have
the
anything
face
interesting
of
to say here.
Khan.
She basically said the same thing. She was like, I knew you'd come. And I was
Really?
like, great.
Oh, she says a whole lot of shit. Basically warning you that this is a trap. And then she
Yeah.
gets blasted.
Yep, that's what my wife says too. And so
and
you
then
start
she got
fighting.
blasted.
Oh yeah, she got
Yeah.
blasted by his finger.
So
Yeah.
you fight
Pew,
Khan,
pew.
and Khan is invulnerable. All he can do is 1 damage to him.
Yeah.
Now, the guide I was reading said that this was going to take like 8 turns, but I think it only took 2.
Yeah, it took me
Really?
4
It only
or
took you 2
something.
turns after the first?
It took me four or 5 turns, and then as soon as so basically your wife uses her power, and then the horse says she's of legendary lineage.
Yeah.
So she is
Oh.
part of the legendary hero.
Before he became invulnerable, 2 of my guys got critical hits on him.
Ooh, did that do
Yeah.
any damage?
Yeah, they both did like 150 damage each.
Before he became vulnerable, you mean?
Before he became while he was invulnerable.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That did not happen to me.
No, me neither. But after he became vulnerable, I was pretty quickly able to dispatch him. He was
Vulnerable.
easier than the Chimera. It was so annoying.
I'm venerable Hortzog.
Yeah, but yeah, at the very end, he's like, "No, it cannot be. This woman, she has blood from legendary hero
Yay.
Lodja." And then he dies.
Does that
blows up into
mean
blue
that Mr.
purple.
Briscoletti is a legendary hero?
Potentially,
Or his wife?
or Sancho boned his wife.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe there's like a secret backstory where Sancho's like, oh yeah, I
No,
met
Deborah specifically mentions that she's that she was adopted.
What?
Really?
Oh.
Oh my God, Sancho got around.
So-
And she specifically mentions that Nira is her sister and was adopted as well. She said that Spaghetti
Rodrigo
Man
was shooting blanks.
felt that there was some sort of reason that he had to raise them or something like that.
Because he was shooting blanks.
Because he likes to be cucked.
Yeah. No,
No, she says that he found you.
Yeah, he found you.
So Sancho got 3 daughters running around, Bianca,
Nice.
Nira, and now is Bianca their sister as well, and they just don't know it? Would that make more sense?
Yeah.
Or that
They're
there was just a
half-sisters.
third kid running around and he was just knocking up multiple women?
So, also, Pancras could never find the legendary hero. Did he just think that a Mexican person could not be a legendary hero? Is that
I'm
his
sure Pancras
inherent
was ridiculously racist.
racism?
More like pancrasist.
Ooh. So as soon as you kill this horse, there's a swirling purple vortex that appears on the throne.
God, I love the graphics
So
of
this
this
is
game.
the start of a fucking solid 10-minute cutscene, right?
Well, we're only
we're
talk
only going to talk about
half
a
of
small
it.
portion of it.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite guy, Laja. He's like, what?
Laja's
so you're
back.
a descendant of legendary hero?
Why were we only going to talk about a part of the cutscene?
Oh, because it's a good cliffhanger.
Because it's a good cliffhanger.
But
He's
everybody that played along with us knows exactly what happened because
that's
you
fine.
can't
They should be ahead of
stop.
us anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It is foretelling of the great Nimsa that descendant of legendary hero will be of the high status. But it appears the child is not yet born. Important plot note, he doesn't know that your children are born. He will be born in the future from your
the nurse
blood.
did say that she hid with the babies when she heard them coming.
Yeah.
Yep. This was the destiny. But this destiny will not... I cannot permission for happening. And then he does a little special effect and turns you into stone.
Dude, we got stoned.
Oh boy. There's a joke I'm kind of surprised they didn't make.
Oh, God. And then you get picked up by Heister and Huckster. How did the Heister and Huckster, these two fucking idiots, get this far into the temple?
No.
We solved all the puzzles.
I assumed that after it seems like some time has passed, and I assumed that once you had gone through and murdered all of the monsters and been turned to stone, everything had been done. The monsters all left the castle because
Yeah, but
they're
there's
not
those
there to
stupid
protect
dragon
anyone.
heads that shoot fire.
Well, I put rocks in front of them.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you die, those rocks get reset, which pissed
Not
me
if you
off.
go. Only if you leave the castle. Only if you
Exactly.
leave the
And
tower.
the second time when I was playing the game and I died, it kicked me out of the fucking castle.
That wasn't that bad. I actually did the same thing. I teleported back to the town to save it because I had to go do some other stuff and I didn't want to have to repeat anything. And when I came back, the rocks were gone, and I just said "fuck it" and ran through the fire. And
Yeah, it doesn't do that much damage. Oh boy. So we are statues and we're stoned, and who knows?
Yep. And we got robbed. We got stolen.
We
It
will
ends with Heister and Huckster
come
stealing
along
me.
some undetermined amount of time later and take your statues, drag your statues off to who knows where.
and we'll
Yeah.
talk
They
about
imply
that.
that they're going to be like jerking off to your wife's statue,
Yeah.
so that's great.
Now,
Yep.
when will we be talking about that?
Next time on Square Roots.
And speaking of, John, where are we going to play through next time?
Next time on Square Roots, we'll play until the end of the Dragon.
All right,
Temple.
well, let's move on to our next segment, and that is John's bullshit minigame corner. John?
I did play some more TNT and won that, so I felt very... Did you actually end up winning, or did it take you a bunch of tries, or...
Well, I said it earlier, but yeah, I won. It took me several tries, but I got there.
I didn't win, and I tried twice, and I was like, you know what? I don't have a whole lot of time to play this game this week, so
I think
better
there's
move
one
on.
more TNT board somewhere in the world.
I also found... Yeah, I've got so many tickets, and I got more Tombola tickets, too, so I got to go back and do that.
Yeah.
So the
I
Nick
didn't like
Knackery
Tumble is so stupid.
It's a bit like the museum in Animal Crossing, where you have all these like secret items or special items from, I think every town might have them, or lots of locations have them.
Yeah, like your marital organ.
Yeah, I put that there.
I have my marital organ on display for everyone to see.
And I've got the tea set on display.
Yeah.
I put a bunch of stuff, like a rock from Stone whatever.
Yeah.
A stone from Wheelbrook.
What do you have to do to place items?
You put them by the
go there
pedestal.
at night and you pick one and you put it there on the pedestal.
And it says like whether or not it's like this item's not cool enough to go here. It'd be like,
yeah, it's got to be a
Pancraz's
knick-knack.
sword is really impressive, but you can't use it here. And
No, if you peep your
I put
items, it'll
stuff
tell you
like
if it's a knick-knack.
The tea set on there, and it was like, this seems like it needs something more. And I was like, what does that mean?
You don't have the entire
full tea set then.
Yeah, you have to get the full tea set from the up to 10 tower.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
still have a piece missing.
So just to touch back on the marital organ, the funny thing is if you look at these things, they have notes and they have like rankings.
Yeah.
And I like the notes for the marital organ enough to screenshot it. It said, received to mark the occasion of Harry's wedding. Slightly ... embarrassing.
Oh.
John, anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Well, you can polish these items. I don't know what that does. I assume like you want to have the most valuable or highest ranking
Really,
items.
It's so that you can polish the marital organ.
Oh, I'll try that next time.
Yeah, you
And
will.
There's also the slime racing, which I haven't got to do, but I now have a level 22 slime, so I will bring them back to race next time.
Okay.
On
All right, well, let's
square
move on to the
roots.
next segment, and that's where we talk about what we are squarely against this episode. Stan, why don't you get us started?
I am squarely against doors you can't open in your own castle when you're king. There is a door in the castle of Gotha that has treasure chests, and you can't go through that door.
That sounds like invasion of
even when you're
privacy,
king.
Stan. Like, maybe you should, like,
It's
I don't
my
know.
castle.
You're not above the law, you know?
I
He's your
am
king.
the law. And I should be able to enter a door in my castle, especially when it's not someone's bedroom that I
This
own.
does seem to be your treasure as king.
Yeah. I can only assume that it's my treasure, and I cannot access it despite the fact that I am the king. So that's what I'm squarely against.
All right.
Toss it over to
What
someone
about you,
else.
John?
Oh, yeah. John, what are you squarely against?
I am squarely against Nira's terrible self-esteem. She needs to feel better about herself. She's good enough. She's great at what she does.
Smart enough.
She's got some healing skills. She's got some legendary power. You know, she just needs to believe in herself.
Doggone it, people like her.
I know. I gotta believe. What about you, Matt? What are you squarely against?
I'll be roundly for Deborah. She's fun. She likes to do she calls me like a little twerp a lot, basically, like a little shrimp. So it's implying that I'm tiny, which is really funny. I guess that she's, I mean, from the character models, maybe she is supposed to be like real tall and like, you know, buxom. So I don't know.
Maybe that's why all the other guys were so intimidated by her.
Maybe it was, or maybe it was her awesome attitude. Either way, I love her. She my wife. And let's move on to the next segment. We have another letter. This one is a bit complicated.
Letter.
John, why don't you read this to us? Because I don't know what was happening here.
All right. This is quite the letter from Morgan Bergstrom.
Freeman?
So I'll have to go through this pretty fast, Morgan. Because Morgan was listening to our most current episode of Dragon Quest, and when they heard my joke about meet cute, they felt they needed to write in about the image in their mind. Smash cut. Scene opens with John waiting for his online date to arrive. He paces nervously and distracts himself playing Dragon Quest IV. Seriously, this is a really good game and you guys should review it. Yes, we should. We'll do it next time. The doorbell, well, not next time. Sometime.
Yeah,
No, not
next
next
time.
time.
On Square Roots.
The doorbell rings. The door opens. There is a bear, like an actual bear. The beast rears up on its hind legs, as if to take a swipe at our mighty hero when, dear Lord, a lumberjack, and he isn't wearing a shirt. The mighty and sexy bearded man grapples with the fierce animal, putting it on all fours as it looks up wondering, WTF, dude? The danger is past. The shirtless marvel looks up at John with eyes of emerald green and nods. Ding! I apologize, citizen. My friend here can be a mite rambunctious around new people. As their eyes meet, cherry blossoms drift through the air while the bear wanders off. And I assume he's talking about the real bear, not either me or the lumberjack. Would you like to come in for some tea? John asks hesitantly. The shirtless, hairy lumberjack smiles and replies, I'd love to. The camera fades and we see Vanessa with a garbage bag full of cherry blossoms while Matthew lures the bear back into the truck with the salmon. Somewhere, far away, Jim Banks smiles and whispers, My will be done. Roll credits, teaser. I guess, is this like the after credits?
Yeah,
This
this is
okay.
like the stinger
Mid-credit
at the
scene,
end.
obviously.
Yeah.
Matthew and Stan are sitting in the truck. I helped, right? Stan says in his calming baritone voice. And Matthew says, like fuck you did. I had to wrestle a grizzly into my truck. Where were you? Getting tacos, of course. It's beef barbacoa. Matthew smiles. You know just what to say. More credits. Second teaser. A weirdo in Seattle finishes his story and wonders, I hope this wasn't offensive. Now where are my pants? Lots of love, Morgan Bergstrom.
Barbacoa
Yay.
tacos. Talking my
That was
language,
quite
too.
the scene. I enjoyed the fact that I had to lure a bear somewhere with salmon.
I
It's
enjoyed
funny,
the
all of
fact
these
that I ate
mid-credit
tacos.
sequences reminded me that I went and saw Into the Spider-Verse yesterday and didn't talk about it on my level up.
I saw
What
it
the
yesterday
fuck?
too. It was very good.
Fuck!
Why didn't we talk about
I
it?
don't
Quick
know.
level up. What did you guys think?
We'll talk about it another time.
Yeah, but I have two notes for you, Morgan. Great work. I really like what you're doing here. One, Vanessa doesn't have enough to do. Vanessa
Yeah.
is the main character of Square Roots.
She's a
and
star.
We are. You gotta have. Vanessa. Like it's in her contract that when she appears, she has to have at least 20 minutes of screen time. So you need to give Vanessa a plot line.
Yeah, my suggestion, make Vanessa the lumberjack. Just say that she pulled her
Yeah.
hair down to make it look like a beard.
Which she
Yeah.
did
And
today.
Put a shirt on her. I think that she would appreciate that. And-
Also, second, it seems to imply that everyone hired me an escort.
yes.
That's what I'm reading from
Or
the
Jim.
scene.
Jim did.
I mean, that's great, and I appreciate. I can hire my own escorts, guys. It's fine. I don't need your help.
You know what I like? I like the bromance between me and Matthew.
Yeah, I think that's the emotional crux of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I can
what
see
happened
Matthew
when
and
we
I
ate
just
those
hanging out.
tacos? Third
holding each
teaser
other.
is my suggestion.
Yeah.
Matt and Stan eating the tacos. Just a full 10-minute scene of pass the hot sauce.
What's that
I'd
called?
murder
It's called
some tacos.
mukbang, right? Right?
Oh, don't start talking about that. I have a friend that's way too into it, and it weirds me out.
I like ASMR, but I don't like mukbang.
What?
All right,
All
so-
right.
Mukbang?
Before we wrap up the episode, Stan, I think it's time for your special corner.
His ASMR corner.
My TSMR corner.
Stan's TSMR corner. Stan, you should know by now, is the host or a co-host of another podcast, the They See Me Rolling podcast. And Stan, give us a little peek at what's going on this week in They See Me Rolling land.
This week is our... Oh, shit. When is this episode dropping? right.
This is New Year's. This is New Year's Eve.
Our first official episode is out now.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
2019.
For your New Year's gift, you get a whole new episode of TSMR.
Yay!
It's the first official episode of TSMR 2 featuring all three major characters in their first Breakfast Club-like episode. They are in Saturday Detention. What happens? Who knows? You'll have to listen to it. Also, we threw out a Christmas holiday special featuring Ryan Lynch and Michael M. Rader. So check that out. It is a sequel, our first official sequel to the main campaign, where Jelly goes out to find her sister. So you don't even have to have listened to the original campaign. You could listen to that. It has the best ending to anything ever. So check it out.
Check it out. And remember the notes, John will drop a link, right, John, to the podcast in the notes. So you can just click right over as soon as you're done listening to this.
As soon as you listen to the whole damn episode, though.
Yeah, because now we have to plug our Patreon.
Second.
And John's going to do that. John.
All right. Our Patreon is a lot of fun. There's a lot of bonus episodes. We're going to push out. We have pushed out a God of War somehow. So you get our Instant Classic and Versus episode. We've got an archive about 15 other episodes, too. We on Instant Classic, we review a newer game. And the other thing the other level is the voting tier, and we'll have to you'll have to have you guys voting like this week or so on what versus game we're gonna do for January. So we'll figure out a list of fun suggestions.
Well, we usually do it at the beginning of the month anyway.
Yeah, we should give ourselves 2 months notice. So we should probably pick our instant classics. That way I'll have more chance to finish it. For February. So we should think about that soon too. Anyway, so you'll get to vote on what versus game, and also you get 2 games a year in the main series that you can vote on. And now we have like an entire block of voters. It's awesome. It's going to be really fun. We encourage politics and intrigue in deciding what game we're going to be playing.
Yeah.
And don't
forget,
forget,
part of the reward is that you get to totally have your, what were you saying?
Don't forget that 2019 will be the year of new games, series we haven't touched before. So it's going to be all new, all exciting, no Final Fantasy whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
And that starts with Dragon Age in January.
Dragon Age.
Ooh. The Age of Dragons. They're 14.
I'm already playing it on my laptop.
They're 14, 16, and 32.
Mm-hmm. And Stan, do you have that list handy of Patreons?
Oh, you can make Stan read it? Hey.
Everyone loves Stan's voice, so
I am happy to do that. That's on our notes. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's on the Dragon Quest V Part 4, episode 141 notes.
It's under the part that says Patreon plug, give us money in all caps and bold.
And yeah, if you don't have cash to support the Patreon, that's totally cool. You can tell your friends. That's honestly the biggest way we've got new listeners is by people recommending it and posting about it and sharing it. So that's just as good as money to us.
All right, I've got this list now. We'd like to thank the following lovely people: Aaron Bachman, Andrew Wayand, Artie Pavlov, Ashley T, Benjamin Avner, Benzina Benzoni, Bobby Midkiff, Brady A. Berman, Brigirth, Brian Pitt, Brian Stone, Brody Toy,
toying with my emotions.
Cameron Show,
show me everything.
Koyman Moser.
Koyman? Yes. We got somebody new that doesn't know how to pronounce it. It's the best. I love Kiva Moser, and I hope he never leaves because I love his name.
Chris Penyak, Cyril the Wolf, David Green, David Shook, Devin Sloan, Eric Garby, Florian Jonas Kramer, G. Bailey, George Umbruster, Go Cry Wolf, Gregory Huxley Iguana, Jake Dickerson,
I don't know what sexual word to take out of that one.
James Hostetler, James Plett, Jonathan Ellsworth, Jonathan Lee, Joseph A. Rogers, Josh Anderson, Julia Zanella, Julienne Titus, Justin Benoit,
Titanic.
Justin Ham,
Benoit Ball. Nope.
Catherine Rutsala.
No, sorry. Say Vanessa's mom. Edit that out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Vanessa's mom, Crystal Thamrin, Matt Jorgensen,
Hi, Georgie.
Mecca Khan,
I see he's a
Megan
real
Sullivan,
Hi, Megan.
Miguel Torres,
Torrential.
Mothma's Mandalorian marmalade makes Maz money. Nathan Poirot,
Hello.
Nick, Owen Marble, Patrick Coover, Lord of Binturongs, Patrick W. Bears,
I love bears.
PJNs, Race Jenkins,
Racy.
Randy Pierce,
Randy.
Resty Kamata,
Resty.
Robert M. Pullum,
He pulls
Robert
them all.
T.
T is
Ross Hartley, Ryan Miller, Sam Harrison, Samu Mitchell, Sean Walsh,
Yeah.
Stu Skeel,
More like Stu Steele.
the God King of Switzerland,
Oh, well, thanks for supporting us.
Tom, Tracy Tanoff, Tyler Petty,
Oh.
Vanessa's mom, Ward Childress, Wonder Swan, Xavier Krieger,
Xavier.
X Xavier Krieger, Zachary Davis. And that's all the sexy people who give money to Square Roots.
Thank you very much, Stan. And on that note, hey, if you want to send us an email, you should. Our email address is squarerootspodcast@gmail.com, and we are always happy to hear from you.
Yay.
Send us an email, and as long as it's not terrible and mean, we'll read it on the show.
Yay.
And we might, even if it is super mean. You never know.
Thanks to Subversive and Mohawk Gaymer for their cover of Toward the Horizon, the Dragon
nice
Quest
cover.
5 world map theme. It's nice, and I really like ramping it up over the initial Vanessa monologue thing. Check out Mohawk Gaymer and Subversive Asset on YouTube. Links for both in the show notes. And rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes wherever you listen to podcasts. And hey, screenshot that review and send it to me on the Facebook, in the group there, on the Twitter, or in email, and I'll tell you how you leveled up. And no one's done this for like 12 episodes, so come on, people. Come on.
I don't
Thank you very
recall.
much.
Did you ever tell me how I leveled up?
Probably. If I didn't, we'll have to... I need some prep time. I can't just do it now.
God, he's got to get his dice, and he's got to do the rolls. He's got to get the stat
exactly.
book out. It's not that simple.
Have you tried leveling up? It takes forever.
I leveled up
Especially
by
in this
watching
game.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It was fucking
Nice.
great. So, for the Square Roots podcast, I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I'm Huggy Snuggy Johnny.
And I'm Steve Nessa.
I spent this whole episode forgetting to call you Steve.
Yeah,
That
we've really
sucks.
failed. All right.
Boo. Redo. Delete.
No, we're 2 hours in.
Bye. Bye, John. Bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve. Bye, Matthew.